Justin Morissette and Josh Custodio coming to you from the Neil O'Brien broadcast booth here inside the Pearl nightclub at NEW 13. And Josh, we talked about the Pearl being a proving grounds of sort tonight here at Nation Extreme Wrestling 13, and that is certainly the case for Sebastian Wolfe in this match right here. It gets thrown around a lot, but this is truly the fight of his life here tonight. The biggest match of his career.
And there almost is no bigger test out there than Jonathan Gresham. He comes out in his octopus guard, Justin. When you're fighting this guy, it's like he has 8 legs. Being on the mat with, I gotta say, you talk about presence. Both these guys have it. Coming out of their pores. This is an intense matchup, but you're right. A test for Sebastian Wolfe as he squares off against the former Ring of Honor champion.
The last time we saw Sebastian Wolfe here in an NEW ring, he was being betrayed by his now former tag team partner, Miles DeVille. The state of emergency is no more, and this is Sebastian's first taste of singles action in his post-tag team career. And like you said, no tougher test than a man who has held world titles in some of the largest companies on the planet. Never mind his in-ring acumen, Josh. The psychological advantage that Jonathan Gresham carries with him to the ring when you see that mask, when you see that gear that he's wearing when he makes his march down to the squared circle.
Well, and the confidence on the mat. You can't discount that even when it may look like Sebastian Wolfe is in an advantageous position once they're on the mat, that could easily be Jonathan Gresham baiting him. This is a master of actual, when it hits the mat, when it comes to stretching out the limbs, there's few better than Jonathan Gresham.
While he may be an accomplished international star inside that wrestling ring, he is making his first trip up north to Vancouver, in fact, his first time here in British Columbia.
Well, let's hope he's having a great time. We'd love to see him more.
He's certainly kept his eye on what's been happening here of late. He is, of course, the owner of Terminus Wrestling out of Atlanta, and for Terminus 1, he hand-selected Vancouver's own Liza Hall for a marquee match against Serena Deeb.
Which was fantastic also.
So you know he knows about the talents on the rise here in this region, and he's squaring off against a tough one here tonight in Sebastian Wolfe, who has finally broken loose from that octopus hold in that grapple game on the mat.
Yeah, I think Sebastian here is trying to test if he does hold the power advantage, even as he goes for the handshake here. Moments before, Gresham wants no part of it. You had your chance. You had your chance.
And I feel like that denial may have just awoken something in Sebastian Wolfe. He's here for the fight. He wants it.
That was a genuine moment between both guys. It feels like we've hit another gear. They're staring down. Wolfe has an expression on his face, so this is fun for him. When the going gets tough, that's no problem for Sebastian Wolfe. He's happy to spend his time here.
Test of strength certainly you'd think would have to favor the larger man, as Sebastian has always been the power game guy, especially in the duo dynamic of tag team wrestling.
And but you know, Justin, while he is winning this test of strength, he has the height advantage, no question, but Jonathan Gresham is a physical specimen. Like this sort of strength, you're seeing it now. You can never count this guy out in any sort of thing where you're going muscle for muscle.
And while he may be short in stature, Gresham's center of gravity is so low as well, it's impossible to use that advantage that Wolfe should have all the way as Gresham continues to remain in control on his feet.
And then like we say in jiu-jitsu, they're all the same height on the ground.
Absolutely.
These guys still feeling each other out here, still trying to win this battle of egos. I'm the stronger guy. No, I'm the stronger guy. But that messaging going forward in the match can play dividends. If you can get any sort of big brother seed planted in your opponent's mind, that can be of a massive advantage late stage in a match.
And I don't think, knowing the size mismatch coming into this one, the advantage that he would have in theory, I don't think at all that Sebastian Wolfe was taking his opponent lightly and preparing for a match against a former Ring of Honor world champion.
But it's a good thing he did, because those chops are coming in heavy from Jonathan Gresham. Two-handed shoves, warm things up, and an uppercut sends Gresham to the mat. But he's back up.
And I talked about that disrespect from Gresham perhaps awakening something in Wolfe. That uppercut from Wolfe may have just awoken something more in Gresham as well.
Yeah, that's a money punch for him, and he's going back to the well on it, and Gresham would be well to scout that out. See if he can't get out of the way out of it. Come, but he answers with a forearm of his own. Now, if you're Jonathan Gresham, is this the fight you want to be having? Is this the way you want the match to be going? You'd be thinking he's shooting, but he's got the crowd on his side. Maybe it is, Justin. Maybe this was the plan all along.
Maybe he's working to tire out that power game, perhaps, of Sebastian Wolfe. Playing a little rope-a-dope.
Get the lactic acid, making the muscles heavy. You could well be ready as he goes for an eye rake. And stomping him in the corner. Gresham invites the boos. No promise here. A win's a win.
Despite the fact that he may be one of the most accomplished wrestlers we've ever seen here in an NEW ring, this Vancouver crowd with no time for Jonathan Gresham, at least not when he's up against somebody like Sebastian Wolfe.
A nerve pinch from somebody that strong, and then stomping on the hand. That's, again, we're talking about the psychological game and the physical game. This is attacking you on both fronts. How good in a fight can you be if your hand does not work? And there it is again, that uppercut. Sends Gresham crashing down.
Of course, we talked about Sebastian Wolfe not taking this one lightly. Gresham never takes any match lightly, whether he's heard of his opponent before or not.
And you were talking about that low center of gravity earlier, Justin. You can see twice now Gresham just saying no to the Irish whip, planting his back leg and saying, you're not moving me that easily.
But he is constantly putting in work in the gym on a daily basis.
Look at this, back to the pin, back to the pin. He knows that kickouts tire guys out. He knows that every time you're kicking out, that takes some cardio. 3 in a row, you're a little more tired than you were before. Gresham's a smart guy.
He and his wife, Jordan Grace, constantly showing off their workouts and results on social media, but the results, you don't have to see them on Twitter. They're on full display in this ring right now.
Strong, strong man. As he's got the wrist of Sebastian Wolfe. He's going all the way around. You can control the whole fight from there. As it brings him to the match, sort of a mixed crucifix position as he has Sebastian Wolfe's left arm snaked between his legs. He's going back to work that hand.
Of course, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, has taught us all over the last decade that wrist control is perhaps the most important thing you can have, and Gresham looks to assert it right now.
Well, and all joking aside, that did take Okada to the very top of the industry, and I think that people are looking at that saying, where does the grapple start? In a lot of instances, it is there.
Speaking of grappling,
incredible pinning combination.
This match very much going back to that mat game that absolutely favors Jonathan Gresham, and you can see the fatigue starting to set in the eyes of Sebastian Wolfe right now.
This is the thing, when they are wrestling, when they are locked up, that is you're not going to tire Jonathan Gresham out doing that. That's his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's breathing for him.
His breathing is getting heavy, and that is the breathing of Sebastian Wolfe, that is.
Yeah, he might want to go back to making this a bit more of a striking match. Let's see if he can.
A little souvenir for a fan at ringside. Just got an elbow pad flung straight into his hands. We go back to the test of strength.
This is smart by Sebastian. Maybe trying to catch his breath here. Maybe trying to fatigue him. And maybe I can get this height advantage. Press down on him one more time.
But perhaps smart as well from Gresham. Well, it might not look that way in this exact second right now, Josh. We were just talking about the labored breathing of Sebastian Wolfe. If you can beat him at the element of his game that he should have the advantage, you might break his spirit and put this match away.
And it looks like that's exactly what he's aiming for. He's going back for this hand of Sebastian Wolfe, says Jonathan Gresham. This is pain, Justin. This is, you got to be tough as they come to withstand this. Twisting all the way around, doesn't even need his hands.
And yet, referee Mark Gager continues to ask, do you submit? And Sebastian Wolfe, even with his hands behind his back, he cannot tap, but he is verbally saying no, no, no.
But that's only the beginning as Gresham readies up some sort of heel attack here. Maybe going for an ankle lock, maybe a heel hook, maybe a Sulayev stretch. No. Few craftier in this position than Jonathan Gresham.
That was a submission that just turned into a pinfall attempt and nearly put it away.
Arm giant roll through. Incredible by both guys. Big spine buster gets Sebastian Wolfe back into this.
And Sebastian Wolfe, move over Arn Anderson, might have the best spine buster in the game today.
And he needed it. This is a weapon he's been practicing, and he had to pull it out in a moment where he said, I need this back. This is the match of my career. If you were ever going to pull it out, that was the time.
And Josh, think about the fact that this is one of the first big solo tests
right.
for a guy who has predominantly been a tag team specialist in the early stages of his career. Is that affecting his cardio as well? He's got nobody to tag in here.
That's great insight, Justin. You've got to think maybe here and there, even lately, I wish I could reach over just for 30 seconds to catch my breath. Go to my partner.
But he doesn't look like he needs a tag out right now. Wolfe coming off a big scoop slam, has Gresham in the corner, and continued lariats in the turnbuckle.
Pure aggression coming out from Sebastian Wolfe here. This is the moment he's been waiting for.
He almost just got himself disqualified with all those strikes against the ropes.
This is his game. You can see it in his eyes. But a kick out from Gresham.
How did he do it?
But a kick out from Gresham.
How did he do it? Jonathan Gresham gasping for breath down on the mat, but was able to reach deep enough to just get that one shoulder up.
I'm so curious where this is going to go from here, Justin. Sebastian Wolfe summoning the people, needs the will, pounding the mat.
He's looking for that spear, heading into his corner.
But maybe not yet. He's got the arms hooked.
That shifty size of Gresham nearly escaped the pedigree, was not quite able to reverse it, but both men going for pin attempts here and another one. Incredible kickouts, incredible pins. These two men just have each other's number right now, back and forth, pin after pin.
No mistakes allowed, and neither man is making one. 1, 2, but never 3 from either competitor.
This is wrestling, folks. As good as it gets, and that spear
There's
from Wolfe
the spear.
could be enough to put this match away. Sebastian looking for the 1, 2, 3, and he got it.
Unbelievable.
That is a star-making victory for Sebastian Wolfe in his first singles solo test. Picks up a big pinfall over the former Ring of Honor World Champion.
And he answered questions tonight. Can I do it without my tag team partner? Can I enter this space alone and come out with the win?
He had the strength, he had the cardio, and he had the perseverance ultimately to stay in this thing until he could get it done. But hats off to Jonathan Gresham as well. What a Matt Classic performance that was from a man who can grapple with the best of them.
You have to be in awe of both these guys after that match, and I do hope Jonathan Gresham makes his way back to NEW in the future, because what a showing by him, even in a losing effort. And there's what it's all about.
He did earn that respect in the end, not just of his opponent, but of these fans as well. Sebastian Wolfe has been no fan favorite in this area. His in-ring acumen cannot be questioned.
But Miles DeVille is here!
But the tactics over the years, well, are being reflected by what we're seeing from Miles DeVille right now. And it may have been the devil himself who was that corrupting influence on Wolfe all along.
This is sad to see. This should be Sebastian Wolfe's moment, and jealousy, whatever it is, Miles DeVille knows that this was Sebastian Wolfe's biggest win, and he's here to steal and spoil the spotlight.
You hate to see it.
This, right after the beautiful show of respect between Gresham and Wolfe.
The miles, no pun intended, that these two men have put in together, making towns over the years, for that brotherhood to dissolve in such a way. And Miles has his own match to be concerned about right now. Speaking of proving ground, speaking of these big-time matches, he's taking on El Phantasmo before this night is done. And will we see Sebastian Wolfe perhaps poke his head into that match a little later on?
We shall see.
Wolfe's getting right in the face of NEW President Rob Fett. You know the match he wants, and it's only a matter of time until he gets it.